Hi, my name's Sean.
Hi, my name is Maxwell.
And this is the Pedal Plane Show.
I was patrolling the Facebook group the other day. There'd been reports of a really awesome pedal plane build, a Corsair. So far we hadn't been lucky enough to find it. And then I spotted it. It looked like my luck was about to change.
Why the Corsair? Two reasons. One, it's my son's favorite plane, and ultimately this is for him. Knew he would love that. Two, I live here in Hanford, which is just a couple miles away from Lemoore. Lemoore has the West Coast Master Jet Base for the Navy. So my whole life I've looked up and seen A7s, F-18s, Super Hornets, and now the F-35C is out here. They're constantly overhead. Every time you come outside, you're hearing jet noise. So pretty big Navy town, and I just think Navy's got the best airplanes. So as soon as I saw this come out, had to have it. This particular paint job didn't have any special significance for me other than it's different. You see plenty of blue Corsairs everywhere. It's pretty common, and not that there's anything wrong with the blue, but I've seen this in several photos. I've built scale models of it. I just think it's awesome how it's kind of a mixture of what the Navy's paint scheme started going to around the 50s with the gold gray with the white undertone underneath, white control surfaces. Since this was one of the last reserve squadrons the Navy had, it was kind of a bastardized Frankenstein plane where they were putting the outboard wing panels, some of the control surfaces like the rudder, and one of the elevators, the trim tabs from the blue Corsairs. However, the fuselage was the newer, more modern paint scheme that the Navy was going with at the time. So for those reasons, I went with this paint scheme. Plus, I have about a 75-inch RC plane that is painted the exact same way. I got from a good friend of mine, and my son loves it. So I thought it'd be really cool to paint his pedal plane exactly like Dad's RC plane. This thing's little brother. So I have as you can see here, I've got my own little Air Force up here in the garage. I've got the giant yak over here that's kind of going through a little bit of a motor cleaning. Huge rocket up here. That one runs on a K500 motor. The Hanger 9 P47, that one's a legend. Got a Phoenix Spitfire back there running on nitro. And then this girl right here, she's kind of my war horse. It's a 75-inch ESM Corsair. It's running on a DLE 30cc two-stroke engine. It's got pneumatic retractable landing gear go up, full span flaps. There's one servo powering it to bring the flap system down. You can see it's got some weathering. Some of it is airbrushed on, some of it's natural from the exhaust just blowing the two-stroke oil underneath the aircraft. I think it kind of adds to the look. I got this from a friend of mine down in San Diego. It flies amazing, it flies perfect. It's heavy, but in all the right ways. Super easy to land, fly, comes out of the sky, coming out of a dive, just screaming. A lot of fun to fly. We had a little bit of an incident later last year where kind of bounced the landing and it popped the landing gear out of the mount. So we had to kind of fix that. But other than that, she's still good to go. It's been about 100 million degrees here as of lately, so we haven't been doing a lot of RC flying, but that's kind of our thing here, is flying RC planes, launching rockets, and as you can see by his shirt here and mine, big race fans too. We got a pretty good dirt track scene out here in the Central Valley. So the lighting system I chose to go with for this is the exact same lighting system I have on my RC Corsair. It's from Dave's RC Electronics. It comes He's got multiple different nav light packages depending on the plane you want. This particular one came with landing lights, 2 of them to be exact. I elected not to go with those. So this one has the starboard and port wingtip nav lights. There's one red beacon, like a rotating beacon underneath that kind of fades in and out. And on the back, the white strobe anti-collision light. And you can change the pattern on it. There's a control chip that I've mounted up underneath the fuselage behind where you sit. You press a button and you can rotate between your blinking patterns on the light. It's really cool. The downside to it is it's powered through what would be your RC receiver on your RC plane. So in order to activate it, it has to have a signal from the RC transmitter. I haven't quite figured out a way to bypass that yet. So if I want to activate the lights, I have to turn on my RC transmitter and link to that receiver real quick. Then the lights kick on. Once they're on, I can kill the RC transmitter, and it's good to go until you unplug the power supply from it. But it looks awesome at night. Highly recommend it to everybody. I'm not that electronically inclined, so I'm not quite sure how to bypass that yet, but it would be nice to at some point get a toggle switch in the cockpit to where he can have constant power supply and then just turn them on and off as he wants when he's riding the plane around.
Push the button, Max.
So the part that gets the most attention is the rockets I installed on it. So we'll go over that. This is standard small Estes rockets that you can get from any hobby store online or Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby has a contract through them, so they get pretty much the lowest prices for some of the simple stuff that's motor sized A through D. These are capable of shooting up to a C motor, which would be way over the top, and it would send these small rockets probably 300 to 500 feet. What I've done is I've put a reduction where the motor goes, and I've minimized it down to a half A motor. It's very tiny. It's about the size of a firecracker. It ignites, it leaves the rails, and it goes maybe 70 feet or so, and they'll skid across the ground. There's no ejection charge to pop the nose off the rocket or anything. It just scoots off the rails, skids down the road, and comes to a stop. I know I had posted a video online, and some people kind of lost their minds about rocket code and how it was unsafe, but the only time we've ever done this is out when we'll take the Corsair out pretty far away, out on some country roads and stuff, and I'll let him just launch away. Is a good time. So I'll go over the mounting system. What I've done here is drilled holes and put rare earth magnets on the aircraft itself and on these blocks here. That way I don't always have to have them on. I can take them off if I need to. This is a standard 3/16 launch rod that comes with the rocket kits. And I bent them 90 degrees and put them into this mounting block here. And then you can see the mounting tube here where it just simply slides on to, whoops. Let's see, slides right on. And here's your clips to give your positive and negative contacts to the wire. And I have the wire running underneath into the launch pad that I've mounted here on the side. So when he's riding, he can just reach over, arm it with the safety key switch, and press the button and the rockets are away. I've split the wiring, so I've got power going to this wing and this wing. So you can do 2 at the same time, which will be 1 from each of your wing stations.
Launch the rockets. All right, son, go. Push the button.
wish you a Merry Christmas here from the Pedal Plane Show, guys. And before we go any farther, I just want to have you guys take a moment to admire that amazing pedal plane that Sean and Max gave us some pictures of, so we could just really admire that amazing work and just coolness of that pedal plane. Now, I want you guys to make sure to just like, share, and subscribe, and then always just make sure to be on the lookout for new and exciting Pedal Plane Show videos. And well, in front of the camera, it's me, of course, Wyatt, and behind the camera, it's Dad. And we will see you next year, right here on the Pedal Plane Show.